Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, BaHashem, Yahawashi, BaHashem, Wakwakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to my Akhwathim, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity. This is Brother Kawakub coming at you with another lesson. Proverbs chapter 30, verse 4. Who hath ascended up into the heaven, or descended? Who hath gathered the wind in his fists? Who hath bound the waters in a garment? Who hath established all the ends of the earth? What is his name, and what is his son's name, if thou canst tell? So first off, I want to say that was actually like super hard. I'm not gonna lie, that was actually like this is actually one of the coolest things I've ever heard in my life. Like I feel like the funny thing is, the irony of it is, I feel like I read this before like multiple times, but like when there's sometimes Slakia, sometimes like when you're like sitting and like actually reading and actually trying to absorb like what you're actually reading, like you don't notice something until like you actually like take it in and whatnot. So I just had to point out, like this sounded hard as hell. Like that is super freaking cool. Anyway, Slaki about that, but basically today's lesson is going to be on this whole name thing with IUIC and well, not necessarily just IUIC, but in general, because I've seen so many videos in reference to IUIC basically getting addressed by this whole name thing. All right, and I'm trying to find the video while I'm talking, but at the same time I can't think properly. I can't think properly while actively I can't talk my words properly, but at the same time find this stuff. But I'm still trying to stall right now actively while trying to find this, because I don't want there to be dead air and whatnot. So for this, let's just search up the thing. Okay, yeah, here, perfect, fine. It's crazy how I just passed that out, but you know, that goes to show I told you I can't really look at the stuff and do it. Anyway, what happened here and in general was there were multiple different instances where IUIC, you know, they are confronted by just random jakes seemingly on the name, because they keep on saying you can call him whatever you want, which again, like, well, not again, I don't think I've ever spoken on this before specifically, but the problem with that is which is what a lot of these brothers do say, is you can't say that you can call him whatever you want, because so now you're going to just call him Satan. You're going to say, oh, I pray to Satan, like that's just going off, and obviously you're basically giving credit and you're praying to not only a false god but a straight up demon. All right, so again, like this is a very big thing, and this is an ever increasing issue where, you know, down as we are getting closer and closer to the truth, because I would, speaking as a man, we're getting dangerous, more and more dangerously closer to the end, where you have so many people that are actively like trying to seek their own way in things, or slowly being led to what the truth is, or whatever delusion that the Lord is going to allow them to be led astray by, which, you know, maybe there's some people that are just going to just stick to IOIC and whatnot and just get deceived by him, because Slucky, there was some brothers that had spoken on you know, basically a dream on what happened to Bishop Nathaniel. But still, in general, that reminds me of another thing, which is the MOTB. I was about to say the actual thing, but the MOTB, which is a big thing, where people think that there's not going to be a physical MARK. They are constantly being told that it is a spiritual, where as a result of it being spiritual, then when there's some actual system in place, okay, the digital stuff that's going to be put into place, okay, then they're going to say, okay, well, we can take it, we can do this, then third, and whatever, and they're going to just be they're going to be sloppy, they're going to be condemned as a result of it. All right, so it's because of that foolishness, because of that leading people astray, okay, not or slack. Let me get this. All right, hold. Jeremiah 48 verse 10. Cursed be he that doeth the work of the Lord deceitfully, and cursed be he that keepeth back his sword from blood. And again, this has not been confirmed, but I am inclined to believe that certain camps like IUIC, for example, are basically they are under I think 501c3, I believe that's what it's called, where they are restricted in some of the things that they are allowed to talk about. They can't say certain things. They can't preach and teach the proper names and stuff like that. All right, where again, like it's all just for money. And there was another thing with IUIC where they were doing some land grab or whatever the frick it's called. I forgot what it's called, where they were trying to raise money. Again, goes back into the Christian church, where the Christian church was always about taking people's money, and then which that you had that one dude, Marvin Sapp, that was holding his congregation hostage. Okay, because if I was me, I wouldn't have been there. Or even if I was there, because I remember when I would go to church, even if I was there and the collection plate got to me, I never had any money, so. You're not gonna rob me of shit because I'm broke. But that just in general, even if I was there as an adult, I still wouldn't. I would have just left. I wouldn't have given any money. I would have said, okay, yeah, sure. Someone else got me and whatnot. Especially with all these fucking rich white people and stuff like that. They can cover the fees. And plus, a lot of these so-called white women and stuff like that, they oftentimes feel that extra urge of, oh, let me give extra, let me give this, then, and third. So more than likely that dude got way more than what he was expected, maybe out of people feeling guilty or obligation, or maybe the fact of the matter was that in general the people probably thought, you know what, this nigga is actually starting to get a little crazy, so I'm not gonna do that type of stuff and whatnot. But I don't know, because it didn't seem like people were actually leaving. They probably thought this dude had the Holy Ghost on him and whatnot, and then they just went along with it. I don't know how much money he got, and I don't know if they got back their money. All right, but that's just something to, because I'm pretty sure he got arrested for that. But anyway, yeah, that was just something that I kind of wanted to point out. But yeah, in terms of IUIC, obviously they didn't do it like as extreme, they didn't do it as crazy, but they did have that thing where they said that they had a goal, they met their goal. They didn't say what the goal was, but they are trying to get money and stuff like that. But then it's like, okay, well, they're getting all this money, and what was it for? Like, what are they doing with it? Because they claim that they want to help, they want to do all these good stuff for the Israelite community, but yet the community is still in shambles, and we're still suffering. So it's like, well, what are you doing? All right, what is being done? All right, now continuing on, second Ezra chapter 9 from the top. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I told thee before, then thou shalt understand that is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And that's another thing where we are seeing, because we're seeing so many people with different things, commonly aware of YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, as well as them being Israelites and stuff like that. As a result of that, then we know that we're just that much closer to the end. All right, it is this is just another thing that you kind of while it might not seem like the best thing or the most amazing thing and whatnot, it's still a good thing. It's still a good thing in the sense of we know that these are parts of the signs, and we are that much closer. We know that we are that much closer to the end. Now next, I don't think this was it. Slocky, I'm trying to remember. Alright, well first I'll just do this easy one then. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 11, and for this cause Yahweh shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. And this is another thing where people think that you can call him God, Jesus, and all that, and all these different names. You can call him other names and whatnot rather than calling it on the actual name. Especially if you know the actual name, why wouldn't you call on the true names? But then you have these people, which actually let's let the video play a little bit, okay, to hear what is actually going on. Let me mute myself.
Our people. And y'all, yeah, we are teaching truth. And the truth is what? Keeping the laws and commandments. So you don't believe in Christ?
Jesus Christ?
You don't believe in the Son of God that came and died for the nation of Israel?
His name is not Jesus Christ.
So that's the same Christ, YAHAWASHI, the HaMashiach. That's the same one we teach.
No, it ain't.
That's the same exact one. Y'all just stuck on the name, and y'all don't even understand when it talks about his name in the Bible. It talks about his works, what he done, everything that he's done for the nation.
Okay, so basically you heard what was said, where you got these randoms, because I don't know who they are, maybe they have a YouTube channel, whatever, but you have these randoms that are coming up to IUIC and basically saying that's not the savior. We don't believe in that person. But because he's taught, IUIC members are basically told you have to push JC, you have to push God, the Bible, whatever, you have to push this, the name's not important, whatever. Like, they are basically, like, there's so many people that have a rightfully so, by the way, that rightfully so have an issue with this whole name thing, because you're basically telling people that you can call him whatever you want, which again, it goes back into if you're going to honestly say you can call the Father and the Son whatever you want, then are you not thinking about, oh well, what if people just start calling him calling JC or the Most High God, Bishop Nathaniel, the devil, Mark, John, you're going to put the name of someone else, and then you're going to worship another person or another thing or another entity rather than worshiping the Lord Yahawadah because they gave their name, they let their name be known, and he even said their name. And also, the thing is that the name is known now. We all have access to the name with Google, with YouTube and Google, whatever, blah blah blah, and it's just easily accessible. And or in general, we've heard one of the prophets talking about the name and calling on the name and whatnot, where it again, it's accessible, but people, they don't want to listen to that. They don't want to hear. They're not aware of this type of stuff. All right, now let me see. Slocky. Well, yeah, basically, in general, Slocky, I thought I had more, but I clearly don't. Basically, the thing is that, the name is an important thing, and you're going to have these people that are going to tell you otherwise. And the thing is that they took, well, I believe that they took money in order to not say what the true names are. That's why they don't want to say, you know, oh, his name is this, that, and third, and whatnot, rather than just sticking with, okay, well, you know, just say JC and whatnot, because they don't want you to know the truth. They don't want you actually calling on, because let me see, actually, is there a precept? Okay. Slocky, I guess that was just a song. Oh, okay, no, I got it. Slocky, here, let me get this. It's Joel chapter 2 verse 32, and it shall come to pass. Hold on, let me also get this before I forget. Joel chapter 2 verse 32, and it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be delivered, for in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, and as the Lord hath said, and in the remnant whom the Lord shall call. Okay, so that's one thing, where whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord, and you can't just say, oh, whatever name. You can't just say, oh, just call him the generic title of God and whatnot. All right. Acts chapter 2 verse 21, another one, and it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. So whosoever in the prophecies, whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. All right. Also, let me get this. John chapter 16 verse 23, and in that day ye shall ask me for nothing. Verily, verily, I say unto you, whatsoever ye shall ask the Father in my name, he will give it you. Okay, so basically, in terms of asking for things, you have to ask the right name. All right, the right name of Yahweh, YAHAWASHI, to ask in the name of YAHAWASHI. All right, and then that's where you're going to actually get delivered. That's where you're going to actually get the blessings that we all want. All right, so with that, I praise this and was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawadah, Ba'ashem, who quack with Dash, the elders and apostles, the great millstone, the bottom ball, and Shalom.